Thank you for listening to BizPod with me, Paul.
And me, Rachel.
Our weekly business English podcast where we talk about the news, social media, and hot topics from a business point of view. You'll get a podcast and links to the articles we discuss. This way you can share your thoughts too. Join us as we discuss what's on our minds this week.
Hi, Paul.
Hi. Did you win an Oscar?
No.
Why not? Were you nominated for anything?
No, I'm not an actress.
Oh, okay. But you never know. Someone might have nominated us for the best business English podcast.
No.
Okay.
But I did see the nominees and the winners of the Oscars because I thought it was rather interesting.
Okay. Why? Why do you think it's interesting? Because, well, go on. Tell me why you think it's interesting.
Well, it's the movie business, obviously,
okay.
And I like to see who the rising stars are and who are the falling stars.
So do you think that's really what it is, the rising stars and the falling stars, or is it just people in the industry telling themselves how wonderful they are?
I know that's what you think.
Yeah.
I like to usually the Oscar winners are good film recommendations, but I also personally like to have a look at all the dresses on the red carpet as well for the fashion.
Okay, fair enough. But I suppose the movie industry, it is big business, and the Oscars is just one of the ways that the industry celebrates itself. And it's a big event. I think most industries celebrate themselves in some way.
Well, they should.
Okay, but why? Why should they celebrate themselves?
Well, I think it's part of the cycle. If 12 months have gone by, what have you achieved? How have you moved forward? I think it's a way of marking that. If you don't have any kind of celebration, then there's no way of marking the milestones in moving things forward. And it's the same whether it's in the movie business or any business.
Okay. So you think these sort of celebrations, these award ceremonies, they have a place in business?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Because obviously it's not just the actors and the actresses who win. It's like, best animation, best director, best sound, best music, best script, best whatever.
Yeah.
Cinematography.
Okay. Yeah. But what you mentioned, the red carpet, the fashion, that's really what these kind of events are about. They're about the celebrities. They're not about that guy or girl who works in the technology department responsible for the scientific, the sci-fi effects that you see. That person who spent 5 months perfecting the shading of some sort of spaceship. That person doesn't necessarily get, recognized at these events.
Do you remember we listened to the podcast Always Young, where they a woman, her name Kirsty Young, interviewed Peter Capaldi, and Peter Capaldi played Doctor Who, and he's actually won an Oscar, and we were like, whoa.
Wow.
We didn't realise he was that. I mean, we knew he was famous. He's a Scottish actor, very, but we didn't think he was that famous. But then we found out he actually won an Oscar for directing a short movie.
Yeah.
Many, many years ago, before he even had an acting career. And he said he went to the Oscars and he didn't know anybody. Nobody knew him. But it was a platform where he could have got loads of more work.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
And he thought it was hilarious. They scraped the money together to pay for the plane, didn't they? And they came back and he said he was in a normal bog standard, like a Ryanair flight, and they were
carrying his Oscar.
Yeah, passing it around the plane.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So, okay, so maybe, those people do get recognized, but you and I didn't know he'd won an Oscar for doing that thing.
Yeah.
That's how perhaps insignificant that Oscar was in the whole scheme of things in terms of what the press report. Because we're looking at the full list of the winners and nominees at the Oscars 2024 from the BBC. Okay. And I don't mean any disrespect to the picture of the lady. I've no idea who she is. Do you know who she is?
No, I didn't. And to be honest, I didn't even recognise Robert Downey Jr. because he's lost a load of weight.
And how much makeup is he wearing in that picture as well?
And his facial hair, he's had a goatee for a long time, and then that's gone.
Yeah.
But then it comes down to like original song, best original score, adapted screenplay, international feature, animated
best documentary.
I didn't even know they did one for that.
Best cinematography.
Yeah. Best sound, best film editing, visual effects. There's more categories. Best hairstyling and makeup. Ooh, lovely.
Best animated shorts, best documentary shorts. Yeah, but no one knows, no one remembers who won all of these. It's always like best movie, best director, best actor, and best actress. That's all that anyone really remembers. I mean, obviously this year, Oppenheimer seemed to win everything.
Yeah. And we haven't seen it yet, but we definitely will see it when we can.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing. Let's move us on.
Okay.
Because a lot of these movies, we're talking about the cinema. Is cinema dead? Are we going back to the cinema? What about these new streaming platforms that are now having advertising? We got a message saying that Netflix is having advertising. Amazon Prime's going to do advertising.
Well, let me ask you a question. When was the last time you went to the cinema?
We went, I remember exactly, we went in last June, to see Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny.
Okay.
Because I wanted to see Indiana Jones. It was in Italian. We watched it in Italian, which was,
It was
also fun.
Yeah.
But the experience, we hadn't been to the cinema for about 10 years.
I think it was more than 10 years, to be honest.
Because the cinema is about an hour and a half drive away.
Yeah.
And we went, and it was not a nice experience because the cinema was dirty. The floor was all sticky from fizzy pop.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
Okay. So let's say we haven't been to the cinema for 10 years prior to that.
And we won't be going again.
when do you plan to go? For another 10 years, at least?
I'm not.
So I think as far as we're concerned, the cinema experience is dead. But when we were, let's say, younger, we used to go to the cinema on a regular basis.
Every week.
Yeah.
Sometimes twice a week.
Yeah. Because it was the only way or the best way to see a new movie.
Yeah.
But now... let's just think about how many different streaming platforms do we have subscriptions to?
Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm also thinking the price of the ticket. We paid, I think it was like €20, and that was discounted.
€20 each for a ticket.
No, it was €20 together.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Okay,
it was
I'm sure it was more.
No, it was discounted. It was €9.90 or something. But I thought, my God, that's a lot of money.
Do you know what I thought when you said, let's have some popcorn, and the popcorn was more expensive than the ticket?
Yeah. But I wanted the cinema experience.
Yeah.
And
but it wasn't a great experience, and
it was a letdown.
There weren't that many people there when we went to the cinema.
No.
And it was
the
a
usherettes
letdown.
were rude. The film started late.
Yeah.
And we got lost in the car on the way home, didn't we? Even though we got sat-nav, the sat-nav was taking us across the field or somewhere. We were like, where are we going? I don't know.
And I don't think young people go to the cinema nowadays because of all the streaming platforms.
How many young people do you know, Paul?
Well, okay. Ooh, let me have a think. None. But I don't think people go to the cinema like they used to when we were younger.
Maybe not here. Maybe we don't live in a city. Maybe people who live in a city do. Maybe it is part of, what they do once a week, once a month or something, go to the cinema.
Maybe it could be.
If it's a family with, might have a family membership or something. I did see there were these membership offers.
Okay.
But anyway, we've now watched Indiana Jones on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
In English. Mm-hmm. And I've got to say, I enjoyed it more in Italian.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I was more engaged because I was trying to work out what was going on.
What was going on, yeah.
Yeah. I was quite pleased that I understood as much as I did, that I hadn't got anything drastically wrong.
Okay. So I think you would agree with me that those streaming platforms are the best places to see movies. So is cinema dead?
I don't know. But I am worried about advertising coming into streaming platforms. Although you do sort of, advertising is still quite addictive. You remember we watch the rugby, don't we? And we know about motorway.
The site to sell your car.
So there's these hooks that get into you in for advertising that you remember certain things.
I don't think there's anything wrong with advertising, but I think when you're paying a subscription for a service, you kind of expect that your subscription is paying for that service, not the adverts. Like,
yeah, but you get a lower fee.
Well, allegedly.
They're not going to put your fee up.
Okay, so you don't get a lower fee, they just don't increase your fee.
Yeah, but it's still cheaper than one cinema ticket.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree with you, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I don't really have any objection to adverts. But I think it's wrong to have a subscription service that you're paying for that then introduces adverts because they don't think you're paying enough.
Well, they had a lot of people join all these streaming services during COVID because everybody was home. But then a lot of people are cancelling their subscriptions. So, they've got to feed the beast. They've got to feed the shareholders, haven't they? So,
okay. But one of the reasons people, I think, leave platforms like Netflix or whatever is the quality of the content. I mean, so Disney Plus, if you're a fan of Star Wars. Okay.
There's loads on
You're going to love
Marvel.
Disney Plus because, all of that is on Disney Plus. But I suppose once you've watched it, I mean, are you going to stay on that streaming platform so you can watch it again and again and again?
It's like West Wing for us.
Yeah, maybe.
But we go on Disney Plus when there's things we want to see, like Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah.
We watch the series, we end the subscription. We wait for the next series, we renew the subscription.
Yeah, and we wait for those special offers, don't we?
Where you change your email address and you get it for $1.99 or something. Yeah. But Netflix, we stay with Netflix and we find things that we might not normally have watched but enjoy.
That's very true. Yeah.
Like The Gentleman we watched recently, a Resident Alien, which I loved. It was hilarious.
Okay, yeah. But what about Amazon Prime? Do you think Amazon Prime, the video, I mean, I'm not convinced Amazon Prime is good.
Well, we haven't got Amazon Prime to watch the TV. We've got it for the deliveries, haven't we?
Yeah.
Because it's actually cheaper to pay Amazon Prime rather than pay for the deliveries on the things we want to order. We don't actually get them any faster where we live because we live in a zone that's only served every 48 hours by delivery companies. But
it is cheaper.
It's cheaper than the delivery fee.
So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. But no, not for the TV stuff. I mean, we've watched a few things on it, haven't we?
Yeah.
But a lot of it, they still want you to buy or rent it. And it's like, hang on, why have I got to pay again?
Yeah. Anyway.
Like there, you've just listed some of the things that won. Yeah. One of them, which we've seen, was Naiad.
Have we seen Naiad?
That was about the swimmer. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time. And we've just watched Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Which was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Anatomy of a Fall on Maestro.
No, but we want to watch it, absolutely.
Yeah. We haven't seen Oppenheimer, which won, 7, 8 or 9 Oscars?
Yeah.
But I've got to admit, I mean, Cillian Murphy, he won the Best Actor.
Not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, we know Cillian Murphy from Peaky Blinders, which is a great show that you can only get on the BBC, I think.
No, it's on Netflix now.
Yeah, it's on Netflix now.
And that's great for the fashion. See, the 1920s, 1930s fashion. Yeah. But then also he was famous from doing that movie 28 Days, remember?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Going back to a COVID-style pandemic, but with zombies.
Yeah.
But anyway, who's doing the advertising now then?
How do you mean? Who's doing the advertising?
Well, we're talking about all these movies and things on streaming services rather than cinema. And now these streaming services are going to have advertising. Who are the companies that are going to advertise? Are they going to be the same adverts that you see on the normal TV? Or are they going to be different?
Well, I think the whole idea of advertising on, say, streaming platforms is the advertising can be more personalized and more targeted. So it's not like on TV, everybody who's watching TV, that channel at that time, sees the same advert. Whereas with streaming platforms, they're not going to show us adverts for things that are aimed at teenagers.
Well, I think it's linked to what you're watching. Because obviously, if you're watching the rugby, they know that people who like rugby are usually of this age and like XYZ.
Oh, yeah, I understand that.
Whereas on streaming service, you choose to watch what you want to watch at the time you want to watch it.
Yeah.
So then it's a little bit more tricky, isn't it?
Well, it is. But obviously, when you register, they get your information. So they kind of know who you are, what your sort of age group is. And whenever you choose something to watch, they're gathering more data about you so that they can more target you better for adverts. Okay. I mean, that's what social media is all about. It's about
big data.
It's about gathering your data so that they can target you for something that makes them money. Yeah, and that's what Netflix and everything's going to do. They're going to gather your data. They already are doing, and they will be able to use that data to target us with adverts, which supposedly would be things that we want to buy. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
No, don't know.
I've never bought anything because I've seen an advert for it. I don't think. Have you?
You bought a new Disney Plus subscription because I saw an offer.
Yeah, but we were probably going to do that anyway, weren't we?
I only wanted to watch Indiana Jones and it was $1.99.
Yeah.
Bargain.
No, but I'm talking about if you see an advert for a product or a service that you've never seen before, never heard of before, and you suddenly go, wow, I want to buy that. Has that ever happened to you?
No.
No,
I can't think that I do, but we're not, we don't like McDonald's or we've not got a car to sell.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
Mind you, the programs we always watch, they're always about getting a local plumber or selling your car or men's urinary problems.
Yeah, I wonder why I'm being targeted for those kind of adverts. I don't need a plumber, I don't need to sell a car, and I don't need, what are they called?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Anyway, let's go back to the Oscars.
Yeah.
So we know there are lots of wonderful, lovely people who celebrated...
Lovies.
Who celebrated being wonderful and great,
Yes,
in the industry. But there were lots of people who tried to make political statements during the Oscars.
I heard about these subtle symbols of protest.
What do you think? Is an event like the Oscars the right platform for political statements, in your view?
It depends what they're protesting about. Are they, you don't want somebody in a dress that costs a few thousand protesting against world poverty because they just look like idiots.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure what exactly they were protesting against.
Well, a lot of it is relating to the Israeli-Gaza conflict.
Right, and wearing a badge is going to help that how?
I don't know, but look, they're called ceasefire pins. Then there was lots of people wearing protect trans kids pins.
What?
I don't know, pay equity pins, yellow ribbon pins. I don't know.
Okay.
Lots of people using the opportunity to make a political statement. And I'm not totally convinced that an entertainment show is the place to do that. That's just my view.
No, especially because we didn't know what the pins were about, so we had to look.
Yeah.
But I'm rather confused as to how buying a pin or wearing a pin is supposed to make change.
Or change anything. Yeah.
I mean, if you're standing in the middle of a street line in front of a tank with a placard, yeah, you're trying to make change. But wearing a pin...
Yeah,
on a $20,000 dress.
Yeah, when you're a lovey celebrity, wearing a pin doesn't really mean much.
Because you've got to make sure your lipstick shade matches the pin.
Yeah, they obviously gone out of their way to do that. Yeah.
No, I've no idea, Paul.
No, I don't.
It's not the right place, the right people, the right way.
No, but
if you're not being arrested, then
you're not protesting.
Then you're not protesting.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about Kenergy.
Kenergy. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a review of the Oscars ceremony. And I suppose the whole event, the whole night is about entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're celebrating how wonderful they are, but it's about entertaining people. Now, this review said it has Kenergy and professionalism, but not enough thrills.
Yeah.
So Kenergy is obviously referring...
Ken and energy.
Yeah. Referring to the movie of Barbie where... Was it Ryan Gosling plays Ken?
He does.
And it was professional enough, but it wasn't thrilling. It wasn't entertaining.
They said it was underwhelming, the whole ceremony.
Yeah. And, they've had a whole year to prepare for it. Yeah. So I'm quite disappointed that the whole event...
How can you be disappointed? You didn't even watch it.
But
you haven't even watched the I'm Just Ken video.
Do you know what? And I have absolutely no intention of watching the I'm Just Ken video.
All the women out there will watch it just to see Ryan Gosling. I can assure you that.
Yeah, but he's wearing a pink suit. He's dressed all in pink. What's sexy about that?
It's Barbie pink, isn't it? It's not a case of being sexy. It's Ryan Gosling. Have you seen all the memes about Ryan Gosling?
No.
Okay, I'll educate you on that later.
I don't want to. I don't want to know them. Yeah. What I'm thinking about here is that this show, which is supposed to be the pinnacle of the industry, is celebrating itself. But based on the reviews that I've seen, it was rubbish. It wasn't entertaining.
But you're taking the word of the writer of these articles because you didn't sit down and watch the Oscars yourself.
That's true. Well, they're professionals. They know what they're talking about. So I'm going to presume that...
They could be biased.
I'm very biased about these kind of events.
You don't say.
Yeah.
That's not coming through at all, Paul.
I just don't know why these celebrities, mega rich people who are surrounded by people who are constantly telling them how wonderful they are need a whole night of being told how wonderful they are. Yeah? I just don't get it. But I know it's entertainment and it should be entertaining, but according to the reviews, it wasn't really entertaining.
Yeah. The quote says, the closest thing to a disaster was Al Pacino appearing to be half asleep when he presented the Best Film Oscar. But he was told not to read out all the nominees and just read out the winner.
Right.
Because that's what people want to hear. Okay. But of course, the way he did it
was just...
The card says Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And people were like, what? But at least, one year they actually read out the name of the wrong film as the winner and they all came on stage and the guy had to go, no, I'm actually sorry.
Okay, so that wasn't professional to actually give the award to the wrong person. Yeah. But
actually, interesting fact, it was all related around La La Land, of which one of the stars was... Ryan Gosling.
Ah, right, okay.
He was also singing in that.
Okay.
You've not seen that movie either, have you?
I'm not a big fan of things like, with, people singing.
Okay. If it's not got Kylie in it, you don't want to know, do you?
If Kylie Minogue's involved in a show and she's singing and dancing, I'll maybe pay a little bit of attention.
So you were there for the Brit Awards?
No, because that's just another night of wonderful, darling people... celebrating how wonderful and creative they are. No.
Okay. Well, we'll share these articles and let people form their own opinions. Maybe they saw the video of I'm Just Ken.
Okay, if they have.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, okay.
I still haven't. I doubt I ever will.
I'll show you later. Okay. So, speak to you next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening. We hope you liked our podcast. And please don't forget to subscribe and stay connected with us. Until next time, goodbye.